Good day, good day, good day, good day. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's another episode of the Potluck, and I'm really excited about today because there is no set theme or dishes that we will convene or we will partake of today. We have several topics, and I will say that some of them probably would be considered random. But you know what? We're gonna do it. That's how we do it here at the Potluck. Let me find myself so I can see your comments, so I can see who is coming to the table with us here at the Potluck. Um, I just thank you so much for joining in. Please like, tag, and share. This helps because God is getting ready to take this thing to another level, another dimension, and I am so thankful for you simply just taking time out of your busy day to tune in. So let's go ahead and get started. How are you doing, Devin White? One of my former fellow drum majors rather. Alrighty, so we're gonna hop right in and get started. We have an appetizer for today, and this is compliments of one of the most prolific, anointed evangelist prognosticators that I know, who happens to attend the same church as I, Miss Gwen Wayne, and she shared this on her page this week, and it just really ministered to me. So I decided that I would make that be today's appetizer, and it states that popcorn is prepared in the same pot, in the same heat, in the same oil, and yet the kernels do not all pop at the same time. Don't compare yourself to others. Your turn to pop will come. So think about that. Resonate on that. And then we have our good old Booker Kebab today, and that is there are some things that we don't have to do. There are some things that we don't have to say. There are some places we don't have to go. And we need to just sit down. So, with that being said, some people are very familiar with this scene right here. And I will say this, when you see this scene, that means that something is heavy on my mind. Something is heavy on my mind. And it probably just happened, and I had to deal with it. And that happened this week. That happened this week. So remember that look, right? I'm actually going to put myself talking on the screen along with that. When you see that right over there, hold up, I'm getting confused. This gets confusing, y'all. Okay, which hand is that? When you see that right over there, that means there's something going on. Alrighty, so I've been faced with situations, so as we all have. There's a lot going on. Our lives have been changed. Our lives have been impacted. However, people are continuing to live their lives reckless and selfishly. So I'm not going to go on the rant today. I'm just going to hit and miss and so on and so forth as it relates to that because for the sake of time. But you can go back on my page and watch what some are calling a sermon. But go back and watch because that was truly coming from the heart. And I personally have family members that are being affected by coronavirus. And I have some people that are close to me, that are near and dear to me, that I love, are making, in my opinion, unwise choices. There are people with their masks, they're refusing to wear them, or they think that it's stupid, or talking about people, or they're making unwise decisions. We are in the middle of not an epidemic. We're in the middle of a pandemic. I tried to say plandemic, which I think that is a part of it. But with that being said, there are a lot of people saying, I don't believe in masks. Wearing a mask is not a belief. First of all, it's been ordered. And second of all, I believe, since we're operating on beliefs, I believe that you can wear one. It's not comfortable. Yes, I understand that it's hot. People are continuing to eat at restaurants. Check it out before you do it because there are a lot of places, even the people at the drive-thru, they have a moment. If you look back in their kitchen, they're raw dogging. No mask whatsoever. So again, when you see that right there, I'm getting confused. There's my hand. Then that lets you know that there's something going on. All right, so we're going to move to what the CDC director has to say about masks.
I'm not going to comment directly about the president, but I am going to comment as the CDC director that these face masks are the most important, powerful public health tool we have. And I will continue to appeal for all Americans, all individuals in our country, to embrace these face coverings. I've said it, if we did it for 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, we'd bring this pandemic under control. These actually, we have clear scientific evidence they work, and they are our best defense. I might even go so far as to say that this face mask is more guaranteed to protect me against COVID than when I take a COVID vaccine, because the immunogenicity may be 70%. And if I don't get an immune response, the vaccine's not going to protect me. This face mask will. So I do want to keep asking the American public to take the responsibility, particularly the 18 to 25-year-olds, where we're seeing the outbreak in America continue to go like this, because we haven't got the acceptance, the personal responsibility that we need for all Americans to embrace this face mask.
Okay, there you have it. CDC director said it. Warren Booker did not say it. Do I trust everything that all scientists and people say? No, I do not. However, I do find belief in that. It just makes sense to me. And also, this week I got this. It's Airwick user, and it's in the room now. It actually distributes the scents at its own pace or whatever. It has a cycle. And what I realized with this, I have it actually in my great room, but then I was in my kitchen and I would get spurts of that smell. It's like fresh linen. And then I was in my bedroom and I would get spurts of that smell. I'm like, wow, it's all the way in my great room. How is it getting back here? And what people don't realize, coronavirus is like that. COVID-19 is like that. It's airborne. It's aerosol. It travels. We're not seeing it. So if this can travel throughout my house just by releasing something in the air, what makes you think you being in crowded places or being around people, especially the ones who don't believe in masks, that you cannot be affected? So people, we're smarter than this. Think about it. All right, my next thing, since we like to eat out, I saw this today where it stated that indoor dining risks are well documented. There has been research done compared to indoor dining, shopping, office, hair salons, religious services. Also, COVID-19 positives were more than twice as likely to have dined indoors in the past 2 weeks versus COVID negative. No other activity conferred significant risk. So basically, what I'm getting from that is saying, if you so choose to do dining in, if you so choose to do so, it might be better outside. Make sure that it's socially distanced, and actually, the people that ate outside were less likely to contract it. So there is a safe way to do everything. Just like I'm gonna take it there. It's a safe way to do sex, and it's an unsafe way for people to have sex, and we have to choose the safe way. Plan B pill can keep you from a STD, so let's just be mindful of that. Alrighty, our next thing, you're gonna see a picture of $49 flight. People, your life is worth more than a $49 flight or a $300 trip to Vegas. Think about it. They're using us. They are using us. If you can afford to do it now when businesses have been so affected financially and some are claiming broken closing, why you couldn't offer it prior to COVID-19? You're using us just so you can make one penny, or you can just make some money off of us. I say it like this: if you offering $49 flights now, you better offer it post-corona as well, and you should have been offering it pre-corona. So I don't want to hear your cheap flights, because my life is worth more than that. I am worth more than that. Point blank. I'm gonna come back home. Point blank and the big old period. All right? Do you understand me? All right. Our next thing, and again, I told you people, this is a smorgasbord of topics. Is no certain format or no certain theme today. And thank you so much, people, for tuning in. We have Michael Washington, we have Latanya Lynn White, we have Tanessa Robinson, my cousin Nashir. How you doing, cousin? Kenneth White, Tamika Brunson, Patrick, Devin, Randall. Thank you all so much for tuning in. John Jones. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, I don't want to be before you long. I do not want to be before you long. All right. I'm really sounding like a preacher with saying that. But I am so thankful to know that based on some of the things that I'm doing is helping people. And some people have actually changed plans when you think about how we've been used as a society. All righty. Here we go. Here. Now, this picture right here, some may find it a bit disgusting. And what it says is that, so this, what's under them beards. And I really hope this is not under some of these beards that we're seeing. But it like he's trying to get something done about it. So women, if you looking for a man and he got a beard, you may want to, just like how people used to feel in a woman's hair to see if it was tracked, you might want to feel under there to see if you see some lesions or some lipomas. They may have to go see Dr. Pimple Popper. And I like watching those episodes. Alrighty, so I think we have a little interference. Let me separate that. Alrighty, here we go. Our next thing was kind of weird. These are weird things in the news. Alright, it states here, donate a testicle. The payout for this is $35,000. That's in the news, people. That's in the news. Now that I want to come back on that one again. Now you see that I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. That's saying that they're saying they give $35,000 for a testicle. Hmm. For somebody that don't want to have kids. Oh no. That might be a way to come up. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I'm hoping I'm not offending anybody, but that's what they said, and I'm just telling y'all about that. And for y'all that don't know, I actually I cook from time to time, and on Saturday I had a taste for some greens, so I cooked some greens. And when I unfolded the bunch, the greens were like big elephant ears, and I'm just like, I want y'all to tell me, is that normal? Is that normal? Is that normal? I have never seen greens that big. Now I must say I was hesitant about eating them, but I did eat them and they were really good. But I know they have to be pumped with some fertilizers and steroids and all this stuff for a green to be that big and look like elephant ears. Alrighty. Our next thing. Here we go. Alrighty. My friend shared this today. And it states here that the best lie you heard was eating all your food so you can be big and strong. Now look at you now. Just big. And I can say, that's my testimony. That's my testimony. Eat all your food so you can be big and strong. You know, when you get big. Gonna build up your muscles and all that stuff. And look at this. I'm big and strong. Let me turn to the side. Big and strong. Just big. Just big. Cause I was told to eat all of my food. Parentals, I'm blaming you for that. My aunties, I'm blaming you for that. But no, just joking. That was just something fun. Also, this week, I I decided to be an example for my students, and I decided to do a TikTok video. And I need y'all to go over to TikTok and find me. I think it's just my name, Warren Booker Jr., Warren L. Booker Jr. And I revisited my drum major days. And here's the video that I shared.
Oh, oh, okay. Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, now featuring
hey, I'm trying to
Mr.
get
Warren Too Smooth
okay.
Now, I will tell you that I was sweating. I did that about 4 times. That was the 5th time. I was like, you know what? If it's not right, it won't get done. Because the last time I did that split, I got to retire. It near about took me out. Something happened. I was walking and limping around the house. Yeah, I think it's just about time to retire that. But there was even a lesson in that. The lesson was we were trained that when you're performing, you don't stop. You keep going. So even though I did that split and turn back around, and I'm like, I am hurt. The only thing I knew to do was just run. And that's what I did. You could go back and look at that. And I apply that to my life. I don't stop. I keep going. I keep going. Hurt. Keep going. Wounded. Keep going. People are down me. Keep going. People are lying. Keep going. So we need to apply that to our life. And the older I get, I'm finding ministry in everything. The next thing here in my hometown, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, that I love with all of my heart. Somebody down there has won $2 million with a Powerball ticket, and they ain't said nothing yet. And I really believe that it's some of my kinfolk. So come on and get that money so we can be rich. Okay? I just want you to buy a building. I will fix it up, create Wild Warren Studios so I can let my vision come to fruition, and we will be a-okay. All right, y'all need to see me. Family member, whoever that is in Palmer, Arkansas, that has bought that $2.3 million Powerball ticket, go ahead and pay your tithes, because I promise you, your pastor won't be mad about it. They're going to take the money, and then just go ahead and bless a brother. And I promise you, this is good ground. Please, we see each other, okay? Even through glasses that don't have no lenses. We show enough. See each other. Alrighty. So the next thing, I found this to be funny. Skipping school. And of course, if you don't know, I am a teacher, and there are some people that are skipping school. They won't log on. And it does a comparison for 1990. You were actually at school in your uniform, and you were having to get a ride from somebody or jump a fence or something like that. But actually, right now, a student is skipping, for one, by not logging on, or just simply turning off the audio and the video. And I will say, for me, as for me in my classroom, you're gonna turn on your microphone and your camera. You know what? Because see, I'm real about mine. I'm transparent. You can have a shirt on, and then, well, y'all can't see my bottom half, but you can look a hot mess at the bottom. In jogging pants, shoes don't match or anything. All right. And people, just in case you're trying to think, no, I wasn't trying to do nothing inappropriate. These are not gray sweatpants. It'll hit you when it hits you. Alrighty. Alrighty, so here we go. Again, I'm really liking this vibe right here. Another Facebook saying, it states here, you are totally replaceable at work. You're not replaceable at home. Home is your real life. Keep that perspective always. Again, you are totally replaceable at work. It has been said by the time, or actually before, your obituary can be printed and you can put all of those pictures in there. They'll be advertising your job and possibly replace it. And some people are putting their jobs before themselves and before their health. And I do understand we have mortgages and car notes that have to be paid. However, if your job is forcing you to make decisions that are not the best interest for your life and for your family, because we have to think the things that you do affect everybody that you're around. If you have children, it affects your children, your husband, and anyone else that you're around. Never get to thinking you're irreplaceable, because I promise you, and I've seen this firsthand, and I've seen it through very close people in my life. When you're no longer any good to some jobs, they throw you out. So never get to thinking you are irreplaceable. Next thing we have here, I want to give a special shout out. And I know these things don't go together. No, I'm not trying to kill nobody, but you'll see bleach and you'll see a box of produce. I actually went down to the Mercy Church this week to pick up a produce box, and a lot of churches and organizations are doing that. And I thought that it was very nice. And there's quality. There are quality, healthy food in there: oranges, apples, carrots of various types. I think it was some beans and some onions, so on and so forth. And I'm single, and I'm gonna bless other people with some of the contents that are in there that I either don't eat and or just have too much of. So that's very, very important. That's very nice. So again, a special shout out to the Mercy Church, pastored by Scotty Long, Terrence Scotty Long to be exact. I want to put some respect on his name. Thank you so much, and I really see the work that you are doing, and it's definitely appreciated. You have more than a church; you have a ministry, and you're touching a lot of people. All right, so if you would, somebody tag Pastor Scotty in this. All right, so moving on to our next thing. Right here, Brianna Taylor's family receives $12 million settlement from Louisville, and it's basically for a wrongful death. But I know for a parent that is not enough. There's no amount that is enough to replace a child, and I think the officer's been fired, but still it's not enough for you to just take our lives and think that you could just pass off some millions of dollars. And I think this is one of the largest settlements, and it's going to be okay. If you value our life that much, then let us live. Because I've never had $12 million. So, to me, that means nothing in a sense, even though I know the family that's still here could possibly benefit from it, but I'm quite sure that they would rather have Brianna versus those $12 million. And it's not okay. It's still not okay. still it's still not okay. You can't just pay people off. Just stop killing us. Stop killing us. All right, so I'm on that soapbox. Now I ran across this video as well, and again, I am not a police hater or anything. I work with one closely every day. Sweetest person I know. I love her. I honor her. I adore. And I know that she has a tough job that she has to do. But when I see something good, and I know there are some good officers, I think it should be spotlighted. Now, again, in this video, you'll see that a person is still, in my opinion, probably profiled, not necessarily by the police per se, but just by people of society, whoever called it in. Again, they say that when I say we, African Americans, we all look alike. That is not the truth. But you can coincidentally be wearing the same color, as someone, or have a similar haircut. So let's watch this and then we can discuss it.
Tense moment, a deputy sheriff stops a black man out for a jog.
You're not in any trouble or anything? There is a burglary that happened. You kind of fit the description. Let me just make sure that you're not him, okay?
But the jogger, Joseph Griffin, is the wrong man, as will soon become obvious.
I'm a vet. I have my ID.
Okay, can I see your ID? Yeah. You literally, they said white tank top, black shorts. And they said that you had a beard, all right? So I'm not saying it's you, but it was a black male. Again, not saying it's you, buddy.
Griffin, a former Army Staff Sergeant, streams the encounter on Facebook Live.
If something happens to me, y'all better raise hell.
15 minutes later, he is released.
We just got the picture finally from the witness, and I get why they went out with you for sure. Clearly not you, but the clothing description and everything matched.
The encounter is now going viral and being hailed as a good example of how both cops and suspects should act in these situations that sometimes turn deadly.
And thank you for Officer Estrada here, who told me from the get-go, hey, I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. So definitely appreciate that. Wrong place, wrong time.
Here's the real suspect side by side with Griffin. I spoke with Griffin today.
It's definitely a frustrating situation. Nobody wants to go for a jog and end up in handcuffs. But I do understand that officers have to do their job. There's certain ways we can go about it.
The Volusia County Sheriff in Florida was so impressed with how Griffin handled himself, he actually tried to hire the registered nurse.
Did you offer him a job?
I did. I have 40 openings. And in today's climate, between COVID-19 and what's going on with law enforcement and the minority community, I can't fill them.
So he'd be a great addition to the force.
I don't think I could pay him enough, though.
Do you see this as a teachable moment for police, for America?
I see this as definitely a teaching moment for America.
You can see two totally different lifestyles, look nothing alike. I guess the clothing can be similar, but just being a black male, he fit the bill. However, I am appreciative that he was able to maintain his composure, and of course, he was smart to record the situation. It's sad that we have to have that fear, but that's just our reality. And you see this brother doing this thing. REN, they can't even afford to pay him, but thank God those officers handled it the way that they did and were not bullheaded and really, really aggressive, because most of the time people respond to how they are approached, not in every situation. So I think that was a good example of policing, in my opinion, and should be used in training, because I really believe training is where it's going to begin. And people just have to be truthful. If you're a racist, you may not need to be in law enforcement or even patrol the areas where those people are. But for some people, that's the motive. That's why they choose those areas. Alrighty, so next we're gonna move on here. Cardi B. I know people love Cardi B, but she says her name a whole lot. But right now, what Cardi B is saying is that, of course, she doesn't want her 2-year-old daughter listening to WAP. W-A-P, and of course I am not going to be able to tell you over Facebook channel what that means, but if you would like to find out, I can tell you. If you don't know, or you can even just go to YouTube and look at the video, and I think it'll be self-explanatory what that is and what it means. And this is going to be a segue into the segment that we're going to end with. So not in defense of Cardi, because we know what she's talking about. So no 2-year-old should be listening to that. However, some people really come hard on the new music, and if you think about it, I mean, really, they're more vocal. We're more vocal with the music and just more upfront. But if you listen to some blues and some old songs, they were talking just as nasty. I'm talking about cheating in the next room. I'm gonna marry my mother-in-law. Kiss me where you miss me. Same thing. Y'all just talking in codes, and the newer generation is just more vocal about it. And one of my Facebook friends, I'm not gonna say the name, posted this right here because I did not get permission. He stated it here. So riddle me this, laughing out loud. What's the difference between WAP and Aretha's giving him something he can feel? Let me hear from y'all. What's the difference? What is the difference? We know what she's talking about when she's saying giving him something he can feel. She giving him what Cardi was talking about. Simple as that. So, I mean, sometimes people, you just have to, be mindful. You guys are kind of doing the same thing. When you look at generations, these millennials and this, same thing. Just package a little bit differently. And that brings me to my next topic. Whereas, brings me to my next topic of the debate about the Cuties Netflix movie. So we're going to watch the trailer, and we're going to talk about that a little bit.
Mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Il se passe quoi là? Vous faisiez quoi à la gare? On va danser au concours. Je danse avec vous. Quoi? Oh mais les gens t'ont grave kiffé que tu vois tous les likes qu'on a eu.
Vous savez où passe l'esprit du mal? Ce sont ces femmes dénudées.
Pour le mariage de ton père. Regarde comment elle te va. Tu es une femme maintenant.
T'étais où là? T'as foutu quoi? J'étais en retard. En retard? Je suis désolée. Me dis pas... Non, tu l'as volé? Oh la dégueulasse, j'y crois pas!
À quoi tu joues là, ami? Qui es-tu, ami? Laisse couler l'eau, ma chérie. Les péchés s'effacent avec.
Vous avez quel âge?
Non, 14.
Alrighty, so again, I'll say this: there is no, it's not okay how our kids are being self-exploited or exploited by parents or by people. That's just simply not okay. And I'm not sure if we're online. If we're online, let me know. I'm getting an error over here.